didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on us. That's not a chip on my shoulder. That's your foot on my neck. Education is the passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today. Without education, you are not going anywhere in this world, for truth is on the side of the oppressed. The media is the most powerful entity on earth, for they have the power to make the innocent guilty and to make the guilty innocent. The press is used to make it look like the black man is the criminal and the police force is the victim. I'm for truth, no matter who tells it. I'm for justice, no matter who it is for or against. I'm a human being first and foremost, and as such, I'm for whoever and whatever benefits humanity as a whole. For no man is given but so much time to accomplish whatever is his life's work. I have no mercy or compassion in me for a society that will crush people and then penalize them for not being able to stand up under the weight. It is a time for martyrs now, and if I am to be one, it will be for the cause of brotherhood. That's the only thing that can save this country. All of us who might have probed spaces or cured cancer or built industries were instead black victims of the white man's American social system. You're not to be so blind with patriotism that you can't face reality. Wrong is wrong, no matter who does it or says it. You don't have to be a man to fight for freedom. All you have to do is to be an intelligent human being. True Islam taught me that it takes all of the religious, political, economic, psychological, and racial ingredients or characteristics to make the human family and the human society complete. America needs to understand Islam because this is the one religion that erases from its society the race problem. Throughout my travels in the Muslim world, I have met, talked to, and even eaten with people who in America would have been considered white. But the white attitude was removed from their minds by the religion of Islam. I have never before seen sincere and true brotherhood practiced by all together, irrespective of their color. Yes, I'm an extremist. The black race is in extremely bad condition. You show me a black man who isn't an extremist, and I'll show you one who needs psychiatric attention, because sitting at the table doesn't make you a diner unless you eat some of what's on that plate. Being here in America doesn't make you an American. Being born here in America doesn't make you an American. I am for violence, if non-violence means we continue postponing a solution to the American black man's problem just to avoid violence. Sometimes, I have a dared dream to myself that one day, history may even say that my voice, which disturbed the white man's smugness and his arrogance and his complacency, that my voice helped to save America from a grave. I have often reflected upon the new vistas that reading has opened to me. I knew right there in prison that reading had changed forever the course of my life as I see it today. The ability to read awoke inside me some long dormant craving to be mentally alive. My alma mater was books, a good library. I could spend the rest of my life reading, just satisfying my curiosity. Right now, in every big city ghetto, tens of thousands of yesterdays and today's school dropouts are keeping body and soul together by some form of hustling, in the same way I did. For when ghetto living seems normal, you have no shame, no privacy. We black men have a hard enough time in our own struggle for justice, and already have enough enemies as it is to make the drastic mistake of attacking each other and adding more weight to an already unbearable load. Time is on the side of the oppressed today. It's against the oppressor. Truth is on the side of the oppressed today. It's against the oppressor. You don't need anything else. A new world order is in the making, and it is up to us to prepare ourselves that we may take our rightful place in it. Speaking like this doesn't mean that we're anti-white, but it does mean we're anti-exploitation, we're anti-degradation, we're anti-oppression. For if violence is wrong in America, then violence is wrong abroad. If it is wrong to be violent defending black women and black children and black babies and black men, then it is wrong for America to draft us and make us violent abroad in defense of her. And if it is right for America to draft us and teach us how to be violent in defense of her, then it is right for you and me to do whatever is necessary to defend our own people right here in this country. Anytime you beg another man to set you free, you will never be free. Freedom is something that you have to do for yourselves. I don't advocate violence. But if a man steps on my toes, I'll step on his. So be peaceful, be courteous, obey the law, respect everyone. But if someone puts his hand on you, send him to the cemetery, for power never takes a back step. Only in the face of more power, because if you turn the other cheek, you could be enslaved for 1,000 years. So it's hard for anyone intelligent to be nonviolent. I believe that there will ultimately be a clash between the oppressed and those who do the oppressing. I believe that there will be a clash between those who want freedom, justice, and equality for everyone, and those who want to continue the system of exploitation. I believe that there will be that kind of clash, but I don't think it will be based on the color of the skin. No matter how much respect, no matter how much recognition whites show towards me, as far as I am concerned, as long as it is not shown to every one of our people in this country, it doesn't exist for me. I believe in the brotherhood of man, all men, but I don't believe in brotherhood with anybody who doesn't want brotherhood with me. I believe in treating people right, but I'm not going to waste my time trying to treat somebody right who doesn't know how to return the treatment. Separate peace from freedom, because no one can be at peace unless he has his freedom. Even Samson, the world's strongest man, was destroyed by the woman who slept in his arms. She was the one whose words hurt him, for they crippled a bird's wing and then condemned it for not flying as fast as they. For if you are in a country that is progressive, the women are progressive. If you are in a country that reflects the consciousness toward the importance of education, it's because the women are aware of the importance of education. But in every backward country, you'll find the women are backward. And in every country where education is not stressed, it's because the women don't have education. In the United States, it is our weakness to confuse the numerical strength of an organization and the publicity attached to leaders with the germinating forces that sow the seeds of social upheaval in our community. It is the process of miseducation that inhibits the full potential of a nation. Let's just face truth facts. Whether or not the white man of the world is able to face truth and facts about the true reasons for his troubles, that's what essentially will determine whether or not he will now survive. If you are born in America with a black skin, you're in prison. Yes, I have cherished my demagogue role. I know that societies often have killed the people who have helped to change those societies. And if I can die having brought any light, having exposed any meaningful truth that will help to destroy the racist cancer that is malignant in the body of America, then all of the credit is due to Allah. Only the mistakes have been mine. And concerning anything in this society involved in helping the black man, the federal government shows an inability to function. But it can function in South Vietnam, in the Congo, in Berlin, and in other places where it has no business. But it can't function in Mississippi. Armed with the knowledge of our past, we can with confidence charter a course for our future. Culture is an indispensable weapon in the freedom struggle. We must take hold of it and forge the future with the past. Either you are a citizen or you are not a citizen at all. If you are a citizen, you are free. If you're not a citizen, you are a slave. If something is yours by right, then fight for it or shut up. Change is only a good thing if you change in a good way. Despite my firm convictions, I have been always a man who tries to face facts and to accept the reality of life as new experience and new knowledge unfolds it. I have always kept an open mind, which is necessary to the flexibility that must go hand in hand with every form of intelligent search for truth. Truth does not change, only our awareness of it. For a wise man can play the part of a clown, but a clown can't play the part of a wise man. We declare our right on this earth to be a human being, to be respected as a human being, to be given the rights of a human being in this society, on this earth, in this day, which we intend to bring into existence by any means necessary. Children have a lesson adults should learn: to not be ashamed of failing, but to get up and try again. Most of us adults are so afraid, so cautious, so safe, and therefore so shrinking and rigid and afraid that it is why so many humans fail. Most middle-aged adults have resigned themselves to failure. The greatest mistake of the movement has been trying to organize a sleeping people around specific goals. You have to wake the people up first, then you get action. In the past, the greatest weapon the white man has had has been his ability to divide and conquer. If I take my hand and slap you, you don't even feel it. It might sting you because these digits are separated. But all I have to do to put you back in your place is bring those digits together. My black brothers and sisters of all religious beliefs or of no religious beliefs, we all have in common the greatest binding tie we could have. We are all black people. In fact, once he is motivated, no one can change more completely than the man who has been at the bottom. I call myself the best example of that. In the hectic pace of the world today, there is no time for meditation or for deep thought. A prisoner has time that he can put to good use. I put prison second to college as the best place for a man to go. If he needs to do some thinking, if he's motivated in prison, he can change his life. And just because you have colleges and universities doesn't mean you have education. I imagine that one of the biggest troubles with colleges is there are too many distractions, too much panty raiding fraternities, and all of that, for you can't legislate goodwill that comes through education. When we see that our problem is so complicated and so all-encompassing in its intent and content, then we realize that it is no longer a black man problem confined only to the American black man, that it is no longer an American problem confined only to America, but it is a problem for humanity. Times change so quickly that if you and I don't keep up with the times, we'll find ourselves with an umbrella in our hand over our head when the sun is out, or we'll find ourselves standing in the rain with the umbrella inside the door. If it doesn't take senators and congressmen and presidential proclamations to give freedom to the white man, it is not necessary for legislation or proclamation or Supreme Court decisions to give freedom to the black man. You let that white man know, if this is a country of freedom, let it be a country of freedom. And if it's not a country of freedom, change it. I tell sincere white people who work in conjunction with us, each of us working among our own kind, let sincere white individuals find all other white people they can who feel as they do, and let them form their own all-white groups to work, trying to convert other white people who are thinking and acting so racist. Let sincere whites go and teach non-violence to white people. As long as you're fighting on the level of civil rights, you're under Uncle Sam's jurisdiction. You're going to his court, expecting him to correct the problem. He created the problem. He's the criminal. You don't take your case to the criminal. You take your criminal to court. It'll be the ballot, or it'll be the bullet. It'll be liberty, or it'll be death. And if you're not ready to pay that price, don't use the word freedom in your vocabulary. I'm a man who believes that I died 20 years ago, and I live like a man who is dead already. I have no fear whatsoever of anybody or anything.
I learned that if you want something, you better make some noise. I want Dr. King to know that I didn't come to Selma to make his job difficult. I really did come thinking I could make it easier. If the white people realize what the alternative is, perhaps they will be more willing to hear Dr. King. Sometimes you have to pick the gun up to put the gun down. Black people are fed up with the dilly-dally, pussyfooting, compromising approach that we've been using towards getting our freedom. We want freedom now, but we're not going to get it saying we shall overcome. We've got to fight until we overcome. People involved in a revolution don't become part of the system. They destroy the system. You can't have capitalism without racism.
I see America through the eyes of the victim. I see the American dream. I see the American nightmare. Dr. King wants the same thing. I want freedom. Tell him that he and all of the moderate black men who are getting somewhere need to always remember that it was us extremists who made it possible. If they don't want you and me to use clubs, take the clubs away from the racist. If they don't want you and me to get violent, then stop the racists from being violent. Don't teach us non-violence. Power in defense of freedom is greater than power in behalf of tyranny and oppression. Usually the black racist has been produced by the white racist. In most cases where you see it, it is the reaction to white racism. And if you analyze it closely, it's not really black racism. If we react to white racism with a violent reaction, to me that's not black racism. If you come to put a rope around my neck and I hang you for it, to me that's not racism, yours is racism. But my reaction has nothing to do with racism. History is a people's memory, and without a memory, a man is demoted to the lower animals. American society makes it next to impossible for humans to meet in America and not be conscious of their color differences. And we both agree that if racism could be removed, America could offer a society where rich and poor could truly live like human beings. The white man is not inherently evil, but America's racist society influences him to act evilly. The society has produced and nourishes a psychology which brings out the lowest, most base part of human beings. Why? When all of my ancestors are snake-bitten, and I'm snake-bitten, and I warn my children to avoid snakes, what does that snake sound like accusing me of hate teaching? I believe in human beings, and that all human beings should be respected as such, regardless of their color. Hatred and anger are powerless when met with kindness. How can anybody be against love? This country can become involved in a revolution that won't take bloodshed. All she's gotta do is give the black man in this country everything that's due him. Everything. If you have a dog, I must have a dog. If you have a rifle, I must have a rifle. If you have a club, I must have a club. This is equality. How can you thank a man for giving you what's already yours? How then can you thank him for giving you only part of what is yours? I believe in a religion that believes in freedom. Anytime I have to accept a religion that won't let me fight a battle for my people, I say to hell with that religion. The greatest miracle Christianity has achieved in America is that the black man in white Christian hands has not grown violent. It is a miracle that 22 million black people have not risen up against their oppressors, in which they would have been justified by all moral criteria and even by the democratic tradition. It is a miracle that a nation of black people has so fervently continued to believe in a turn the other cheek in heaven. For you after you die philosophy. Once you change your philosophy, you change your thought pattern. Once you change your thought pattern, you change your attitude. Once you change your attitude, it changes your behavior pattern. And then you go on into some action. As long as you've got a sit-down philosophy, you'll have a sit-down thought pattern. As long as you think that old sit-down thought, you'll be in some kind of sit-down action. It's like the black man in America seeing the white man win all the time. He's a professional gambler. He has all the cards and the odds stacked on his side, and he has always dealt to our people from the bottom of the deck. I have more respect for a man who lets me know where he stands, even if he's wrong, than the one who comes up like an angel and is nothing but a devil. To have once been a criminal is no disgrace. To remain a criminal is the disgrace. Usually when people are sad, they don't do anything, they just cry over their condition. But when they get angry, they bring about a change. Brothers and sisters, I am here to tell you that I charge the white man. I charge the white man with being the greatest, murderer on earth. I charge the white man with being the greatest kidnapper on earth. There is no place in this world that this man can go and say he created peace and harmony. Everywhere he's gone, he's created havoc. Everywhere he's gone, he's created destruction. You don't stick a knife in a man's back 9 inches and pull it out 6 inches and say you're making progress. The world since Adam has been white and corrupt. The world of tomorrow will be black and righteous. In the white world there has been nothing but slavery, suffering, death, and colonialism. In the black world of tomorrow there will be true freedom, justice, and equality for all. And that day is coming sooner than you think. You will never catch me with a free 15 minutes in which I'm not studying something I feel might be able to help the black man. I believe in recognizing every human being as a human being, neither white, black, brown, or red. And when you're dealing with humanity as a family, there's no question of integration or intermarriage. It's just one human being marrying another human being, or one human being living around and with another human being. No man is believed perfectly until he wishes for his brother what he wishes for himself. To me, the thing that is worse than death is betrayal. You see, I could conceive death, but I could not conceive betrayal. Don't be in a hurry to condemn because he doesn't do what you do or think as you think or as fast. There was a time when you didn't know what you know today.
This is to warn you that I am no longer held in check from fighting white supremacists by Elijah Muhammad's separatist black Muslim movement, and that if your present racist agitation against our people there in Alabama causes physical harm to Reverend King or any other black Americans who are only attempting to enjoy their rights as free human beings, that you and your Ku Klux Klan friends will be met with maximum physical retaliation from those of us who are not handcuffed by the disarming philosophy of nonviolence and who believe in asserting our right of self-defense by any means necessary. I feel like a man who has been asleep somewhat and under someone else's control. I feel that what I'm thinking and saying is now for myself. Before it was for and by the guidance of Elijah Muhammad. Now I think with my own mind, sir. I don't favor violence. If we could bring about recognition and respect of our people by peaceful means, well and good. Everybody would like to reach his objectives peacefully. But I'm also a realist. The only people in this country who are asked to be non-violent are black people. A race of people is like an individual man until it uses its own talent, takes pride in its own history, expresses its own culture, affirms its own selfhood. It can never fulfill itself. A man who stands for nothing will fall for anything. If you're not careful, the newspapers will have you hating the people who are being oppressed and loving the people who are doing the oppressing. People don't realize how a man's whole life can be changed by one book. Read absolutely everything you get your hands on, because you'll never know where you'll get an idea from. Nobody can give you freedom. Nobody can give you equality or justice or anything. If you're a man, you take it. No true leader burden his followers with a greater load than they could carry, and no true leader sits too fast a pace for his followers to keep up. Sometimes I have a dare dream to myself that one day history may even say that my voice which disturbed the white man's smugness and his arrogance and his complacency, that my voice helped to save America from a grave, possibly even a fatal catastrophe. One day, may we all meet together in the light of understanding. One day, may we all meet together in the light of understanding.